So, hello and welcome back to an Explain Factor. Now today for a little instrument approach, ILS Yankee Approach runway 27 on the same airport as last time, Pardubice in Czechia, Lima Kilo Papa Delta. Focusing on the iPad on the GTN trainer, click continue, you can fill in the fuel, click continue. Click track mode manual. Now you're in flight plan, press vertical, this will follow.
TOS, system test okay.
Yeah, so be it. So now, map shows you where you are, we don't care. Go to back. We want to load the procedure. So you go to procedures, you go to approach, you change the airport, this is not the right one. You have to put LKPD and enter. Right. Then you have to choose ILS, the first one, ILS 27 Yankee. It's the approach we're going to do. Transition, we're going to go via Orlix. Orlix from here, straight in and down and land. Channel ID, nothing. It's an ILS approach, it's not an RNP approach. Click load, approach and activate. Message comes up, GPS guidance is for monitoring only, yes, because the ILS will be receiving the ILS. That will be the way we fly this approach. So you can and should verify all the points here, but they're correct. So you just click back, go to the map. To position your aircraft in the right place, you zoom out, you find your point. We want to be a little bit before Orlix. So I want to be here. You click set, this switch is only in the trainer. This sets the location of the aircraft. It's not an option in the real GPS, obviously. It's to this set with a little D for demo, set positions the aircraft. Increase the speed for the aircraft to come and join the final approach. Is it going to do something nice or is it going to do something rubbish? Hopefully it's going to do something nice. Hope it's not going to. I hope it's just going to fly straight on and not fly this turning left, etc. Seems to be alright, lining up. I'll reduce the speed. So on the GPS we're arriving at Orlix. Next point is Papa Delta 435. Next point PD 415. PD 27F. That's the final approach fix. Start descending from 3,000 feet. If you look on the simulator, I've paused. I'm at 4,000 feet now. I'm at Orlix. I'll be cleared to descend or cleared for approach. If I'm cleared for the approach, I can descend at the convenient altitudes. I'll descend 3,000 feet if cleared approach. Later on, cleared to land and configure the aircraft. It's now flaps up, gear up. So I'll configure the aircraft for finals. On the map, you can go and have a look at location local map. Now I got the wrong map. Local map. And I'm here coming in for the ILS approach. ILS approach, LKPD, runway 27, ILS Cat 1, Papa Kilo 10935. I can use the outer marker. 4.3 tool, this is already set. If you go to view 3D cockpit, it's the best. 4.3 for the ILS. Mostly 10935. The two nav. Both the HSI and the CDR are going to indicate the course, the glide path. GS glide slope is now turned on here. The flag is turned on, it's not receiving it, that's why it's in the middle. We're now at 17.7 nautical miles from the DME. That's about the Orlix point. So we're at Orlix on the simulator. We are arriving at Orlix on the GPS. We're flying about 120 knots. Now frequencies on a GPS are not correct. I'll put them 109er decimal 35 just for the sake of it. The other standby is, I have to say, we could have switched it anyway. Com frequencies, I'm with Pardubice radar. I will switch to Pardubice tower. I'll pause everything and brief the chart a bit later. Okay, I think we can unpause and fly. Put 120 knots on the GPS and unpause and reduce the volume. Maintaining 4,000 feet, maintaining the track. So if I call now Pardubice radar, Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray, or established, the finals 27. They might answer, okay, Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray, call Pardubice tower, 120, 120.155. Contacting tower, 120.55. Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray. And Pardubice tower, Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray established, finals 27. They might say cleared for approach runway 27. So that's an ILS approach Yankee runway 27, Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray. Now we're cleared for the approach. We're cleared for the approach. I'm going to slow down the GPS a bit because we're doing 100 knots in real life. Cleared for the approach means I can start descending. I've already started, which is not good. I can start descending to 3,000 feet. That's the altitude we will want to be at. I'm descending more than 1,000 feet per minute, which is not good. I'm now even climbing, which is terrible. I want to descend, and I want to descend to 3,000 feet. No more than 1,000 feet a minute. I'm trying getting back in the center line. We're at 14.5 nautical miles. The FAF is at 7.1. Just to have an idea where we need to configure. We need to configure before, we need to get ready, configure, etc. before. Just descending 3,000 and going back to the center line. Yeah, it's closing in on the HSI. This is working. 3,000 feet maintain. Don't want to climb either. Can I try and stabilize this, trim this, one-way center line, almost perfect, 3,100 feet, a little bit better, a little above and below. We're now receiving the ADF, we weren't earlier on, it was flagged. The way an ADF is flagged, there is no flag, the arrow points to the left or the right. I think it's always the right, 90 degrees, which is not a perfect way to see it's flagged because it's not always obvious. I'm almost trimmed, carrying on this heading. Pause and pause the GPS, and now I'm going to open the chart and brief the chart. This time it's not the Jepson chart, it's the official Czech chart. I have with me, and I'll show on the display on the screen, the Czech Republic Instrument Approach Chart ICAO LKPD Aerodrome 2-37-3 24th of February 22. Aerodrome elevation, I'll focus on threshold runway 7 elevation, 27 elevation. 731, about 800, 1,000 above, 1,800 feet, have to be stabilized. Pardubice, we have our M for military because it's a military airport. M tower, frequency 120.155. I've put in here. Other frequency, don't care, blah blah. The military approach 120.365 entered here. Okay. Brief the MSA. Minimum safety altitude. It's around the NDB part per kilo. At south-southwest we need 3,900 feet. At the north-northwest we need 4,800 feet, and at the west we need 3,100 feet. This is the Pardubice ILS Yankee runway 27 approach chart. We are arriving from All X. We have passed All X. It's the initial approach fix. We carry on straight on, tracking 269er. We've descended 3,000 feet, maintaining 3,000 feet, 8.7 nautical miles to Papa Delta 435. I'll have a look here on GPS. Papa Delta 435, 3,000 feet. Then Papa Delta 415. Then 3.4 nautical miles, 3,000 to the FAF, which is this Maltese cross FAF final approach fix. PD27F, 7.1 DME distance from the Papa Kilo. When we reach 7.1 here, we've reached the FAF, we start descending. About 500 feet per minute, descending, tracking 269er. Passing the outer marker, middle marker, arriving at the approach. At the mapped missed approach. Mapped is missed approach. Read the little information. DME required. RNP approach certification. Requirements for initial, intermediate, and missed approach. Bearings, track and radial, drive magnetic, altitude, elevation in feet, distance, nautical miles. Next you have the vertical profile. Read the missed approach. Procedure. Climb straight ahead to PD 431. Turn right to PD 432. Turn right to PD 433 and join initial approach via PD 434. Climb to 4,000 feet. Having a look at the vertical chart, transition altitude in the whole country is 5,000 feet, arriving at 3,000 feet. FAF 7.1 starting descent. GP glide path 3 degrees. Passing PK Papa Kilo NDB. At 2.4 DME distance from Papa Kilo. Ideally 1,490 feet would be the perfect altitude. No lower than 1,200. You can see in the grey area minimum altitude. Otherwise you go around. If you arrive at that point at 1,200 lower, you go around straight away. Going straight on. Second grey area 1,070 feet. Carry straight on to Papa. Missed approached. Localizer, it's, an apt localizer, it's the middle marker. 0.7 nautical miles from Papa Kilo DME. And carry on. The table on the left, optical clearance altitude or optical clearance height. For category aircraft Alpha Bravo, let's say on Beechcraft Baron 58, category Bravo if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the numbers in there are, to be honest. Oh, okay, Oscar, I just said it. Optical clearance altitude or height. Clearance altitude 812 feet, or the height above the ground 181 feet, etc. Next table to the right, DME distance from Papa Kilo. Altitude in feet. We don't need this so much on an ILS approach because ILS approach is a 3D precision approach. We have vertical guidance. But to check as an information, well, we do need it to check if we're in the right ILS lobes. You could have, if you're at the wrong altitude, you could have the glide slope indicated correct here in the middle, and you're on the wrong glide slope. You're on a glide slope above the actual glide slope. Because the ILS works with radio waves and creates lobes of radio waves, and in the right position in these lobes you get the right indication. A little above you're indicated you're above, but so much above you're indicated back on a glide path, which is wrong. It's a false indication. The only way to check it is manually checking what altitude you are at what distance. So reading DME Papa Kilo distance in nautical miles 765 to 1. Altitude must be at 7 nautical miles, must be 2,960 feet. At 6 nautical miles it should be 2,640 feet, etc. If you're way above this, you're not stabilized, you're not in the right glide slope, even if it's indicated so. You're above, and you should miss approach and come back to the right altitude. That can happen in ILS approaches. The last table gives you the rate of descent for your ground speed. Top values are in knots and that ground speed. If you do 100 knots ground speed, rate of descent, ideal rate of descent should be 540 feet per minute. If you maintain this, you're on the right, you should be on the right glide path all along. That's an extended briefing with a few explanations. You should only brief the things you need for your flight. You should go a little faster. You should ideally brief it in 1 minute. I'm going to unpause and carry on now. Carry on flying. One thing, so we're at 11.5 nautical miles. We have to start descending at 7.1. Let's say 1 nautical mile before, at 8 nautical miles, 8.1. We need to start configure the aircraft. Gear down, flaps 10 or even 25, etc. We're cleared approach, we're not cleared to land. At 1,800 feet, I should announce stabilized. I should maintain stabilization criteria. Normally in ILS, during the whole approach, stabilization criteria, the glide slope, which is here in the yellow diamond, which will be here in the middle, should not deviate from more than half a scale. So you can deviate upwards or downwards to the first dot, but if you deviate beyond, you're out of scale, you should go around. Same thing here, when this glide path will be in the middle here. You can deviate from a few dots, but no more than half scale of the instrument, otherwise you should go around. I'm not going to go around for the purpose of the exercise, even if I'm not flying nicely, because I just want to carry on and land. That's the idea. ILS, no more than half scale, both horizontally and vertically, no more than plus minus 10 knots from the approach speed, I'll say 100 knots, and a few other criteria. You have all briefings done, all checks done, aircraft configured, all clearance obtained. These are basically the criteria, otherwise you need to initiate a mission approach. I'm not going to do it for the purpose of the exercise. Shall we go again, go on the map? And just carry on flying. 120 on the GPS. Maintain 3,000 feet. Just carry on flying. 11.1 nautical miles. Papa Kilo DME. I'm almost runway center line. I do not want to descend, certainly not 1,000 feet per minute. feet. I can announce glide slope alive when it is, when we're receiving it. I can turn this a little more to the right. I can trim the aircraft. It has a tendency to want to turn left and to go down too. GPS, I'm not far from PD435. I don't know if it's the case on the on the aeroplane. On the simulator, we'll have to check near the end. Fly is not too bad. Let's fly at 110 on the GPS because I'm at 110. Even 100 on the GPS, I'm at 110 on the simulator. Glide slope, alive, it's coming in. It's coming in. Oh, everything's going fast. Pause, pause. I'm already at 7.4 nautical miles. The fastest is at 7.1, I should start descending. I said at 8 I should start configuring, so I'm going to unpause and start configuring. All this has gone a little bit too fast. Just checking on the GPS. Oh, there might be something wrong because PD27F is, yeah, something going wrong on the GPS. I'm very far from the FAF, and here I'm already arriving at the FAF. So I'm going to click set here. I'm now just 0.6 nautical miles from the FAF. On the simulator I'm 0.3, so I'm even going to get a little bit closer. 0.4 is good. Okay, GPS is back on track. I'm going to unpause and configure straight away. So, speed 100. Unpause. Speed check. Gear down. Speed check. Flaps 10. White arc. Max flaps out. Okay, 7. I've arrived at 7.17.0. Passing FAF next 1800. So now you start descending. So I've passed FAF at 7.1. And now I'm passing FAF next 1800 feet. Glide slope is going away because I'm not flying properly. I need to follow the glide slope around my center line. Both on the HSO and the CDI, whichever. I could be checking at 6 nautical miles. I have to be at 2,600 feet. I've arrived at 6 and I'm at 2,500. So I'm at 100 feet below. So I need to maintain a bit of power for the speed. I have to join the glide slope again. Join the glide slope in the center line, turning left very slightly. Glide slope's coming back in. Glide slope's almost in. Glide slope is good now. Carry on descending very slowly. Turn right again. So I'm still on radar. Radar established to 6 and switch to tower. Pardubice tower. Frequency 120.15. Pardubice tower. Kilo Delta Sierra Tango. Sorry, Oscar Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray. Established finals 27. Kilo Delta Sierra X-ray, clear to land, runway 27. We've just been overtaken by a Falcon 7X or something. It's not very... ATC is not doing a good job, it's just a simulator and exercise. Descending I'm at 110 knots. On the GPS now, and on the simulator. Descending, I'm in the glide slope. I should do GUMS check. Gas is sufficient, undercarriage is down, mixtures full forward, the propeller pitch full forward, switches are on, all switches landing lights on. Flaps are down, cowl flaps should be shut. 1,800 stabilized. Let's say we are stabilized. We're not far from, we're about stabilized, not very nicely, but we're stabilized. We set the altitude, minimum decision altitude 1,070, so 100 above 1,170. 1,170 I have to be stabilized. The glide slope's not good, it's gone way out the center line too, to be honest. So I'm just going to join this. Oh, outer markers beeping. And the ADF indication is going backwards because the NDB is behind us now. We've passed the outer marker, the particular NDB. Carry on descent. Descent, not climb. Yeah. Slight slope now. The corrections are very violent, sorry for this. 1,400 feet, I'm too high, descending. 1,400, 1,300. 1,170. Approaching minimums, and at 1,070. I'll say minimums continue. minimums continue. Back on the glide slope, join the centre line again, increase the speed. GPS is selected, remain unsuspended. I'm carrying on the landing on the GPS. The GPS have arrived on the runway already, so I can reduce the speed to 0. I'm doing the iPad GPS and the simulator, so that's why the piloting is nasty. The piloting is not nice. I apologize, but we're coming in to land. Reduce throttle. Ooh, a bit of a hard landing. Pause. GPS speed on 0. View in a circle to see the aircraft. But we landed. And once again, the lesson is to focus, view 3D cockpit, is to focus on the instruments. The instruments, the setting, the radio frequencies. Arriving, using the CDR, the HSI. Why not the ADF as an information here? But that was an ILS approach, so using ILS Yankee chart runway 27 at Pardubice, Czechia. I'll put the video, the GPS and the chart briefing, and if you have any questions you can post them in the comments. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.